Back here inside the arena in San Juan City, Gretchen Ho able to get one through. This double block by LaSalle. Maranya was late on that one, so Mercado couldn't handle it by herself. Point for Gretchen Ho. Micaela Esperanza goes to Steph Mercado. Good dig by Z Hervasio. Jem Ferrer can't chase it. So another point for LaSalle. 3 graduating players combined from both sides. Steph Mercado, one of them, playing in her 5th and final year here in the UAP, along with her teammate Jack Alarca. Of course, on the other side for Ateneo, Bea Pascual could be playing in her final game in blue if Ateneo loses today.
And that time, that back set worked for Ateneo.
Tara Acevedo, 4th-year player and former Rookie of the Year in Season 70 when Ateneo swept LaSalle in 2 games. Of course, one of them was by forfeit. So this forfeit rule of the UAAP has been violated already in the past.
But look at that single block for Ateneo. Now this is where Ateneo should really focus on also. No? Aside from the back row defense, they also have to make sure that there are blockers in the front line.
Gretchen Ho.
Going ahead of that double block of LaSalle, firing that one through.
Gretchen Ho.
Her team still down by 4 here in the first set. Excellent atmosphere. A lot of LaSalle and Ateneo fans in the stands. That's the one thing you can expect from this rivalry, even here in the sport of volleyball.
And you can see the disappointment of Coach Roger at the sidelines when that happened. It was clearly a miscommunication.
Gretchen Ho and Jem Ferrer stopped in their tracks. Jem Ferrer, those are the things that Coach Ramil wanted his ladies to be aware about. From the back row, Z gets denied.
That one is out.
But it goes out.
Take a look at that again. Alarca had a good timing reading Hervasio, but the angle was pointing towards the direction of the sidelines.
That's the power of Z Hervasio. And there's Alarca, dug up well by Phil. Still playable here in Z.
Very smart move there by Z Hervasio.
All smiles.
So look at that. She was actually keeping an eye on that open area.
Good effort there by Melissa Goheng, but Z was right there at the top of the net. Too strong there for Phil Kainglet. Mika Esperanza and the rest of the Lady Spikers trying to set a return trip to the finals against UST, who are already waiting. Bea Pascual and the rest of the Lady Eagles have other plans, of course. Chuck Cruz, team captain of LaSalle. And Jack Alarca now putting up that one.
Oh! That one goes through. Free ball, but Chuck Cruz commits an error. You know, I like what I'm seeing from Ateneo. They are very aggressive in terms of executing the attacks. In fact, if you look at the offense, lahat malakas eh. Lahat may power.
I am not sure how that ball found its way up. Jack Alarca was already smiling at herself there. Chuck Cruz, good dig there by the rookie Lazaro. Here's Phil from the back row. Goheng putting it up. Jack Alarca over the double block.
Smart move by Alarca. This is the experienced middle attacker for LaSalle.
Coach Roger calls the first timeout. Let's listen in.
Hindi kayo referee, player kayo ha. Bayaan nyo siya, kahit pumitong yung bola. Hindi kayo magdidesisyon, may referee, sayang ang bola eh. Hayaan nyo lang yan. Yan. Pagka nagkombinasyonan, huwag kang magbibigay ng mataas na bola, aabutin ng blocker eh. Sabihin nyo ha, kapag ka-chance ball na, sundan yung bola ha. Kaya, tingnan mo yung blocker mo ha, huwag kang papasok ng diretso. Mas maganda magsislide ka para humabol yung blocker, para hindi siya nakasteady.
Coach Roger Gureyev telling his ladies to be aware of the blockers of De La Salle University, the best blocking team in the UAAP. Jack Alarca, best blocker awardee in UAAP season 71. Joanne C, also best blocker last year. And could we see another award from Michelle Gumaba this year? Right now she's on track to do that, but Shaq Cruz with a service error.
Now, two unofficial count, but I guess 2 errors for Shaq Cruz. One was her attempt in bringing the ball over earlier, and another one on the service area.
Steph Mercado off the hands of the Lady Eagles. We go back to Steph. Cara able to swipe that one. Good dig there by Steph to keep it alive. Gumabao! There you go. Let's watch this one more time.
Defense of Ateneo was too late that time.
And now Jack Alarca serving. She'll be on the back row here. Philka Inglet hits it from the back row. And Maraño with a quick on that one. Dug up by Chuck Cruz. That hit by Hervasio off the hands. A joust at the top. Ball is still alive. Hervasio one more time. And she fires it in between Maraño and Gumabao.
But this, Hervasio.
Look at the way she flicked her wrist on that one. Good form by Hervasio, and now she's doing that sky ball serve. They go to Kainglet. Her try is foiled.
Oh!
But that one is too strong for Gumabao.
Gumabao was slightly underneath the ball in that attempt and failed to flick her wrist.
Ateneo hanging on here. 14.
Oh.
And make that 15. 12 in favor of La Salle. Hervasio too strong. This is Steph Mercado. And it's too strong.
The exchanges and you know, the errors that we're seeing at the service line seem to be consistent for both teams.
Cara Acevedo now. Esperanza went to Abby. Good save there by Hervasio to keep it alive for the ladies in blue. Maraño will try again, but this time Acevedo couldn't handle that one.
Second technical timeout.
A tight first set. La Salle up by 3. Back with more Women's Final Four only here on Studio 23. Iba Kabarkada. The MVP of La Salle's last championship in UAAP season 71, of course, Ina Santos.
Along with former player Celine Hernandez. Also an alumni of La Salle.
Ila Santos, also the best receiver in UAAP season 71. Last year's libero for Ateneo, Stephanie Gabriel.
It's nice to see that those players who already graduated continue to support their teams by watching the games here at the arena.
Back to the game.
Of course, LaSalle looking to advance to the finals and recapture the UAAP women's crown they last won in UAAP season 71. That was in 2009. Ila Santos, the MVP of that team. Of course, Ateneo on the other hand, bringing coach Roger Gorayev with a winning tradition. Still looking for their first UAAP women's crown. Gretchen Ho just avoiding that double block. Ateneo being the much smaller team, we can see that the tactic they are using is trying to avoid and go around that double block of LaSalle.
But of course, they would have a difficult time in blocking those attacks coming from LaSalle.
Lot of weapons on the offensive end for LaSalle. This is instant replay brought to you by Shakey's. Shakey's, it's fun family pizza. Chuck Cruz for you.
Maranyo with that service error.
LaSalle, numerous service errors here. Trying to keep, because of that, Ateneo sticking close to LaSalle here in the first set.
There was a touch called on Esperanza.
Immediately, the Ateneo ladies saying that there was a touch, signaling with their hands. Shakey's fast serve. Shakey's It's Fun Family Pizza. Phil Cainglet, third-year player for Ateneo. Came in at the same time as Z Herbacio, her former teammate in high school, Jem Ferrer and Gretchen Ho, along with their coach, Roger Gorayev. Right now, down by 1 in the first set in what has been a long time since Ateneo faced LaSalle in the Final Four. And right now, we are tied at 17.
Timeout, LaSalle Lady Spikers.
And that forces Coach Ramil De Jesus to call for time.
Ano yung magdak? Hindi pwede lalagay mo ng bola. Ha? Umibabaw ka, huminga ng bola. Pilitin mo i-set. Okay? Isip tayo sa maganda. Then, mag-concentrate tayo sa block. Naiiwan si Mika dito eh. Alam niya ibabalik dito. Oh, single block nga kay Mika. Then, nagmamadali ka sa atake. Pasukan ng pass.
Coach Ramil De Jesus in his 13th season as the head coach of LaSalle